What's up, YouTube fans? Today I'm doing a little update video on this guy here, the Unique Toys Ragnaros or Bruticus. There's a couple things I missed and a couple things actually I haven't seen covered in other reviews, namely Bobby Skullface and I think even Ben's Collectibles did one. So first thing, obviously you can see right here, the arms are capable of holding the gun, both arms holding the gun this way, which means there is a bicep swivel. It's not the best, but there is a bicep swivel. So let me show you that. And it's tough to do it, but it does rotate, and it's actually ratcheted. But going this direction, it basically hits the top of this and starts to make it come apart. So you can't really go that way. You can go this way, but you do have to watch out. You do have to watch out for some of the kibble that's in the way here. So you don't get a whole lot of motion, but you do get some. And it starts to make this come apart, and these little kibble pieces that are in here kind of get in the way. But it does allow you to get the thing, to angle the arms in to be able to hold a weapon. So that's one thing that I missed. So let's just get arms out of the way for a second here. The other thing that I missed, so you do have two bicep swivel on both sides. They both swivel. They just get in the way. They're hindered by the actual arms. The second thing I missed is the back here. So I did not have this transformed correctly. Somebody pointed it out in the comments, and that was just a oversight on my part. So I figured I might as well show it since I missed it myself and others might miss it too. So these two pieces right here just fold in, and normally in the bot mode it's like that, and actually these are downs. Actually these are down like that. And so you want to extend these out, separate the guns. It is a little tight. Pull down these tabs and then attach them to the back. So you get the extended look. So if we turn this guy around, I did take the gun off here. Obviously those cannons look a lot better with the guns extended and also with them separated. Another thing that I didn't really cover, or I guess I missed, is there's really two modes for these thighs. So you can have it extended or you can have it collapsed. It is definitely more stable in this collapsed mode. So right now they're collapsed. What you can do is go to the back here and open up this panel, and now you can extend this up, and then it locks in place with this thing. So do the same thing on the other side, pull this up, and that's the extended mode. So you can have it kind of really tall. The problem with this is this joint sort of interacts, and so when you're trying to bend the leg, it kind of gets in the way, because this is Caligos's, or their Onslaught. That's his leg, his knee joint for Caligos. So you end up sort of having that get in the way, and it's not a very strong joint. So I recommend not using the extended. Now my review was done in the extended mode, and it does look a little taller, but it's definitely less stable, and it's also harder to pose the leg because you're trying to overcome this joint from not collapsing. So you're better off collapsing it down like that and then closing that off. And that's the most stable version of this combiner, is with these down. Now, I know Bobby Skullface showed it extended, but I'd rather get stability than get height. I don't have Toy World Devastator, or Constructor, so this height is fine for me. He matches up perfectly with the Hasbro, or not Hasbro, Takara's, either the Combiner Wars or the whichever one you have, Combiner Wars or Unite Warriors Devastator. So for me, this size is perfect. Another thing is the eyes here. I did switch them out. It comes with the translucent red eyes, and you can swap them out, and I think it was this guy who came with those red eyes. So they're definitely better with the red eyes. There's a close-up. they're brighter. The other ones are kind of dead, and that's really not, it's not a good thing. And then the last thing I didn't really cover is the alternate chest. So I'm going to get that together. I have to get this cockpit off of their version of Vortex, and then I can put together their version of the alternate chest. So we'll do that, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so I just I put this guy into kind of a straight stance and pose just so I can show off this. So this is the chest piece that came with I think with their Caligos, and then this is the one you put together. Now it is tight, but you can do it. So you first put the boosters or the engines from their version of Vortex onto the wing, then attach the wing onto here. If you do it the other way, if you put these wings on and then try to attach these, it's too hard. They're very tight tolerances, but if you do it in that order, it's fine. There's no problem. It's not, it'll go together. So once you have it assembled, then you're just using these two tabs to go into here. So I'm just going to show that. And I'm not a huge fan of having to do this, you know, take it apart. Oh, and you need this too. So you got to take this chest piece off. So you basically got to take apart this whole thing, and then grab this bottom chest piece and put that in. Actually, let's get this back off. And I think you're going to want to put this on first. So this tab right here fits into here, so put this on first, and then take your alternate chest piece and get that on there. There you go. And that fits in together nicely. Actually, it looks pretty cool. I don't know, maybe I should have had this chest. I'm not a huge fan of parts forming. I don't really like the idea that these have to come off. I don't know. And guys, the last thing we want to do is take a look at this. So this thing actually comes apart and can be stored all on this figure. It took me a while to figure out exactly where everything went. There's not really good instructions, and actually instructions are wrong. They're missing some stuff, so you got to take everything apart. So take it down all the way to this piece here, and then what you want to do is take this piece here, and there's a little slot there that goes on this tab, so you want to put that in there like that, and it's gonna bend. I'll show you where that goes, and then do the same thing for the other side. Put that together like that, so you have something like that. Okay, and then those two pieces, now I gotta move up the arm so I can show you where it goes. Those two pieces go right here. So this tab is going to slide into this little notch on the leg right there. And that was sort of tricky to find. It didn't really, instructions weren't great, but it slides right in there. And then you fold this over the back. And you kind of want to make sure that these, you know, the little bumper pieces from Caligos are pointed upwards so that you can fit this underneath there. And what that does is it gives you kind of a hip skirt that goes all the way around. It doesn't fold out, but you can fold it out like that, but it doesn't fold up. And you want to do the same thing on the other side. This one's actually a little bit tighter for me. That might be just my copy, but I had to kind of force it in there. And then, again, fold that over. And now you've got a nice, and I don't know if this is supposed to go down or if it's supposed to be folded upwards. Doesn't really matter. But now you've got a nice waist all the way around, same color, and it looks pretty cool. I like the way that looks. I think that's a nice touch that they made it fit. Now the instructions suck, so it doesn't really tell you. The instructions for Caligos tell you a little bit, but it's definitely not clear, and it definitely doesn't tell you where to put everything. There's one last piece that I had to figure out. Now this was sort of just by luck. I figured this out. So you want to have this straight like this, and you're basically, there's a little tiny slot tab right there. That's going to go into that hole there. So you want to just kind of get this in here. It fits perfectly in this hole. Like, amazing. So we're left with nothing. Everything is on the figure. Everything has been mounted onto this guy. And I think he looks great. I think I'm even more impressed than I was when I first did my video last week. I would say at this point my main issues with this figure are these two guns, which go with this guy. They do not peg in, even after trying to put a little bit of, you know, what do you call it, nail polish, and it's coming off, so it doesn't stay. And the slots, the holes are actually not, they're too shallow to hold these on. And then the other issue is these little guns that go in this guy. You can get them into here, but they fall off very easily, and so I don't even bother anymore because they just fall. This gun also, you know, there's a lot of ways to combine this gun. It's really your choice. You can kind of have it however you want. This is one configuration, but it's a little too much, so I would recommend just taking this one off the figure. And then you have this a little bit more simple gun. I think it actually looks a lot better like this. Or you could have it like this with this on top, but that's good enough. I mean, some people are taking this gun and sticking it on the front there, but that is just too big. It's just too much, you know. You don't need all that gun. You know, it's as long as his arm, and I guess you could use that as a rifle, like that. But I just don't. It's just too much. So I prefer this. This is good enough for me. Just like that. And yeah, let me get that back in his hand. But yeah, I really like the way everything combines, everything transforms. You know, it really is a true transformer, combiner, whatever you want to call it. I love the design, and the engineering behind this figure is really well done. There's a couple of things that aren't great, like the arms being hard to pose, but all in all, this really turned out great. Now that I know some of these extra things that it can do, I mean, I like it even more. I'm definitely going to be keeping this in combined mode. I don't really know why people are saying this isn't good in combined mode. I think it's actually great in combined mode. It's also great in individual bot mode, but it's definitely, you know, the Bruticus for me. I'm fine with the way this looks. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Please subscribe and like, and we will see you next time.